Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Mixed Report. I'm Amrita. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel, and if you're already a subscriber, then thank you so much. I usually share swatches, reviews and product recommendations, mostly through shorts and occasionally long form videos, but today's video is going to be a little different. For this one, I want to do something fun and a little nostalgic. We're taking a trip back to 2007 when the first Vogue India magazine was launched. And yes, I still have the very first issue. It features this gorgeous cover with Bipasha Basu, Gemma Ward, Priyanka Chopra, Monica Angana Datta, Preeti Zinta and Lakshmi Menon. Truly iconic. As I was flipping through it, I came across the beauty recommendations from that time, and it got me thinking, how much has beauty really changed since 2007? Are any of those products or trends still relevant in 2025? Or have we completely moved on? So in today's video, we're going to compare beauty then versus now. If that sounds interesting, let's flip through the magazine together and see what has changed and maybe what hasn't. Do you remember what 2007 was like? No social media, no beauty influencers, no online hauls, and the beauty landscape was completely different. For me, my love affair with beauty and even luxury brands started with magazines like this. I used to love those first few glossy pages full of ads. Just look at these. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, we have a stunning Chanel spread, Dolce & Gabbana. It was a whole vibe. And of course, L'Oreal Glam Shine. If you were an OG beauty lover, you'd definitely remember using this. Did you? Do let me know in the comments. Also, big shout out to the entire Vogue India team, both then and now. Alright, let's get into the actual content. First up, Scarlet Fever. Red lips making a comeback with shades like MAC Diva, Russian Red and a few others. Honestly, still relevant today. The application tips were timeless too. Use a primer or foundation on lips before applying lipstick, blot with tissue and then reapply. Also use matching lip pencil on the inside of the lips to lock in color. Classic techniques that still hold up. Then there's this stunning Patrick de Marchelier photo shoot from the sets of Savaria. Just wow. I literally had to pause and take it in. Just look at this image. It's dreamy, cinematic and so beautiful. There's also a section titled India in Vogue, Vogue in India, showcasing Vogue archives shoots done right here in India. The pictures are breathtaking, a perfect blend of fashion history and cultural storytelling. And finally, we've made our way into the Vogue beauty section. Starting with drama queen, striking eye makeup and unstructured hair, making a grand entrance this season. Hair trends were all about big, bold, unstructured volume. Very 80s inspired but softer. Volume was everything. Stylists recommended mid-lengths to keep the hair from falling flat. Bumble and Bumble thickening spray and hair powder were the recommendations. Compare that to now, people still love volume, but sleek and straight styles are equally big. What do you prefer? Then we have makeup artist Mickey Contractor's interview, which honestly could be published today and still make sense. I love this. He shares timeless tips like avoid foundations that are too light, makes you look chalky, match foundation to your neck, not your hand, try it for a day before you buy it because some foundations oxidize, blend properly, apply moisturizer first, use the right tools, either a foundation brush or a sponge. Always start with little, and if you feel you need more, apply another layer and blend to the outside, towards the ears, neck, hairline. Simple, solid advice that still holds true. His must-haves: MAC Black Track Fluid Line, which I actually still use and highly recommend. Oh, and you guys, Lakme was everywhere. I think Lakme Foundation and Compact were literally my first ever base products. Do you remember what your first foundation was? This next part genuinely made me smile. There's a small feature here called Wish It Were Here, and guess what's it about? It introduces Sephora as this fascinating international concept store. I have to read this out. If you're traveling abroad, Sephora is a fascinating concept store presented in most capitals. They have everything from big name fragrances and cult makeup brands like Smashbox and Bare Essentials to their own cosmetics range. They also have signature standalone counters where you can get eyelashes curled or a quick makeover. Imagine, in 2007, Sephora wasn't even in India yet, and now it's everywhere. That really shows how much the beauty industry and the markets have grown. Benetint, of course, still relevant. Some things really do stand the test of time. Let's talk eye makeup. And in 2007, it was all about the drama. Think bold wings, sharp lines, strong colors. Wear the black double-winged look with confidence. Love that energy. The trend now has gotten much softer these days for sure, but I've always loved a double-line look. MAC Fluid Line Black Track is also recommended here. I do feel this product has one of the smoothest textures for getting that clean, precise wing. The reverse wing, I've never tried this, but I do love the teal color. We have strong statement with eyes fully done top and bottom. All you need is a good kohl pencil with this, and I feel this looks stunning on Indian eyes. Also pointed edge on the inside of the eye. Love, so flattering. High voltage block using one single high impact solid color. This somehow feels dated. Not sure if it would work for most of us today unless it's super editorial. Hypnotic eyes. Let's see what products we have. MAC eyeshadow in Electric Eel, priced at 580 rupees. Wow. Lancome Kohl at 850 bucks. Can you believe those prices back then? Few more MAC eyeshadows. Urban Decay eyeshadow. Very classic early 2000s beauty shelf vibes. In Get the Look section, they shared some really solid tips. If the eyes flaunt wings, then underplay the lips. If color blocking and high drama are the eye focus, then stay neutral and low-key on face makeup. Use shimmer liner over black at the beginning of the line. Leave the rest black. I usually do this for parties and it looks great, so I can vouch for this. For daytime drama, make amethyst wings and use black kohl inside the eyes. Elongate eyes with a thin black line that gets thicker inner to outer eye. Honestly, some really good advice in here. Timeless and still totally wearable today. Top drawer. Perfect beauty menu for Indian skin and hair. It's divided into skin, dry, oily combination, and this side we have cleanser, toner, moisturizer, sun protection and night care. Let's see the recommendations. Cleanser, we have Shiseido, Neutrogena and Biotherm cleanser. Toner, we have Chanel, Clinique and Kaya. I've actually used the Clinique one and it's pretty good. Moisturizer, we have Creme de la Mer, Shiseido and Lancome. Creme de la Mer is priced here at 4,474 rupees. Just go check out how much it costs now. Sun protection, we have Olay, Lotus and Vichy. Lotus is great, still swear by it. And finally, night care, we have Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. Again, still relevant and a cult favorite. Chanel Serum and Christian Dior Pre-Treatment Lotion. Some of the products might not even be available now, so there's that. It's like flipping through a beauty time capsule. For hair, we have in a similar way, dry, oily combination or sensitive on one side and shampoo, conditioner, treatment on the other side. Starting with shampoo, we have the Tiggy Bedhead, Toni & Guy and L'Oreal Professional. For conditioner, we have Body Shop Brazilian Nut Moisture Mask, Body Shop Nettle Oil Conditioner and Dove Conditioner, Intensive Repair Lotion. I have a faint memory of using this, but I can't really remember. And for treatment, we have Kerasta's Nutritive Mask Intense, which I'm using currently and I've been using for years now and I love it. L'Oreal Professional Lumi Oil and Kerasta's Lipo Recharge. I think my favorite part though is this. Some great budget buy recommendations. Parachute Coconut Oil, great then, great now, great forever. Nivea Lip Balm, guys, it's like 15 bucks. Chandrika Ayurveda Soap, Live On Silky Hue Hair Softener. The first serum I think most people used was Live On, right? Pond's Cold Cream, of course, and Garnier Body Cocoon Moisturizer. I mean, some things never change. They were unbeatable then, and honestly, they still are. Finally, a feature introducing what was then still a new concept, primer. It's titled Prime Time. It starts with this lovely line, your face can look beautiful even before the makeup's on, meet the primer. They explained it so well. A primer is the most important step when applying makeup. Cosmetics applied on primed skin last longer and look better. However, cleanser, toner and moisturizer are still a must. So basically skincare first, then primer. Primer only enhances the surface. Skipping skincare is like building a house on sand. Love this. Leading international beauty brands now offer primer for the face, eyes, eyelashes, lips and nails. They hydrate to combat heat and humidity, minimize pore size and leave a creamy smooth finish to the skin. Some recommended here are from Clarins, Clinique, Urban Decay. Today, of course, primers are everywhere with amazing options for every skin type, concern and budget. It's so cool to look back and see where it all started. So looking back and comparing 2007 to now, it's honestly fascinating to see how much the beauty world has evolved. Skin, back then, it was all about a matte, powder-heavy finish. Now we lean into dewy, hydrated skin with skin tints and lightweight bases that let your natural glow shine through. Lips, frosty glosses and shimmer ruled in 2007. Today we've got everything from creamy mattes to velvety liquid lipsticks and juicy glosses making a big comeback. For eyes, kajal heavy looks were the go-to. Now it's more about soft glam, diffuse liners, subtle shimmer or clean graphic lines. When it comes to brands, back then the focus was mostly on Western luxury. Now we have the rise of incredible Indian beauty brands, K-Beauty, Sugar, Juicy Chemistry and so many more. Huge shout out to all of them. Inclusivity, shade ranges were extremely limited in 2007, mostly fair and light tones. Now there's a growing and much needed emphasis on diversity with more brands catering to a wide range of skin tones. It's amazing to see how beauty has evolved. Great to see the shift from what beauty looked like to what beauty meant. More representation, more choice, and definitely more freedom to define beauty on your own terms. What's interesting though, some of the advice from 2007 still holds strong. Also, side note, I didn't spot a single Maybelline product in the entire issue. Did we not have Maybelline in India in 2007? I'm honestly not sure. Let me know in the comments if you remember. And that was our little time capsule trip back to 2007 through the pages of the very first Vogue India issue. I absolutely loved revisiting these moments. It's so fascinating to see what's changed and what hasn't. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one beauty product or trend from the 2000s that you still love or wish would make a comeback? Let's chat in the comments. I'd love to know your throwback favorites. If you enjoyed this nostalgic video, do let me know. I'd love to do more videos like these along with my swatches and reviews. And finally, thank you so much for watching and supporting this video. If you like this one, give a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.